What is up, sniper? OBS keeps maximizing window and covering the chat window. There might be StarCraft later tonight. Depends on how I feel after dinner and spending some time with the future Mrs. Cat. So, shall see. I'm just getting the last couple odds and ends together. We're about to get starting with the first episode of Cook for the Swarm. So, welcome, Twitch viewers. I'm Kessnuts. For those of you that don't know, I am a Masters StarCraft player. I stream 4 nights a week on Twitch. I also am retired, kind of, sort of, from the restaurant business, where I spent 11 years. 7 of those years I worked as a cook. And I still enjoy cooking. I love talking about food. I love eating food, as you can tell by my portly appearance. So, I thought it'd be fun to do some streams centered around cooking. There's going to be some... So my goal is to do one of these a month, maybe more often if the demand is really there. And we're going to do, some simple recipes, some more complex, viewer requests, that sort of thing. So there's going to be, I think there's a lot of potential to have some fun with it. So, anyway, like I said, I am Kessnuts. This is my assistant / kitchen inspector, Clementine. Come say hi to the internet, Clemmy. Hey, puppy. Puppy. Good girl. Oh, and there goes my camera. This is all very precarious. Anyway, today we are going to be making spaghetti and meatballs with garlic bread. So, a few things you're going to need. One, you're going to need 2 nice size but not huge pots. One for the meatballs and the marinara sauce, and one for the pasta. 4 to 6 quarts is plenty for a recipe of this size. For the meatballs, since we're going to be frying them, you don't want a non-stick pan. You want something that's stainless steel or enameled cast iron. Also works great for this. I wouldn't recommend. I don't recommend using regular cast iron for a tomato sauce, just because while the tomato sauce won't destroy your cast iron, it may cause the seasoning to flake off, and you don't want that in your food. So that's it as far as cooking implements. We're going to need a knife or 2. I have my 2 trusty Chicago cutleries here. You can see this one is, or maybe it's better to show on this one. This one I've had for quite a while. It's quite diminished from being sharpened repeatedly, but it's a good, trustworthy knife. Chicago cutlery makes pretty good stuff for the price. They're not premium knives by any means, but they're good enough for a home cook. Obviously, you're going to need a spoon of some kind for stirring. And that should be about it. Now, as far as ingredients go, I have 2 loaves of nice Italian bread from the local grocery store bakery. I actually cleaned them out. These are the last 2 loaves they had, so lucky me. I'm going to need 1 large onion, about 4 heads of garlic, and by the way, you can type !recipe to see the recipe at any time. Nightbot will send you a link. Now, as far as other ingredients go, I have some Ohio City pasta, linguine. You can use dried pasta if you want. You can make it fresh if you want. And then for the meatballs, if I can hold on to it, I have here a pound of ground pork, a pound of ground beef. This is 85% lean. And then a pound of ground veal. It even says milk fed on the box, so you know that you're eating a baby. And then last but not least, you'll want a pint of buttermilk. So before we do anything else, let's address the roasted garlic for the garlic bread. So I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees. What we're going to do is just cut the head of this garlic off, like this. Ooh, that's noisy. Then you want to get a pan. Throw your heads of garlic in there. And you want to get some oil. I have vegetable oil here. Just lightly coat with oil. That's a little more than lightly, but fuck it, we'll make it work. You want to cover this with foil, like so. And this is... Oops. Put that garlic in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. Until it's nice and soft. So you might be asking, why didn't I peel the garlic? Because, one, that's a pain in the ass, and I'm going to show you why it's a pain in the ass. But it's not necessary, because by the time that garlic is done roasting, you're going to be able to squeeze it out of its skin like toothpaste from a tube. It's going to be that soft. One more ingredient a couple other ingredients I forgot to mention but are very important. You want a nice wedge of Parmesan cheese. Don't get the grated shit. The grated shit has stuff added to it to keep it from clumping. It's just not tasty. Not as tasty. The other thing I like to have on hand before I start cooking a meal is just have a few tablespoons of salt and pepper mixed up. It beats having to grind your pepper as you go. You just smash it with a knife? Yep, I do the same. Welcome, Twitch Dolly Bride. Smelly Feet didn't know I could cook. Well, I can. I did it professionally for 7 years, so I should know. Next thing we want to do is cut up our onion. Now, the onion is just going in the sauce for this recipe. Some recipes will call for onion in the meatballs. I've tried it. I don't like what it does to the meatballs texturally, so I leave it out. I'm doing good, Twitch Dolly Bride. Thanks for asking. How are you doing today? So, we want to peel the skin off our onion. The skin on this onion is quite stiff, so it's kind of being a pain in the butt, but this outer layer of the onion doesn't look so great, so I'm just going to peel it off too. That goes in the trash, and then, very important here, make sure you brush all of the bits of skin off your board before you start dicing the onion, or it will get all mixed up in there. Make sure to wipe your knife off too. So you'll see that I left the little root at the bottom of the onion intact. This holds it together so that it's easier to cut. So what we're going to do is just cut it down lengthwise like this, using our fingernails as sort of a guard. And then we're going to cut it across like this. Just hold it like a baseball. As you can see, part of the side I cut too far down and it broke off. You could just get rid of that. Hey, be nice to the cat. I want to adjust the angle a little bit here. You can more clearly see what I'm doing. And if we could quit screwing up, we're going to do the same with the other half of the onion. You see, when you're done, all you have left is this little bit of root. There's no waste. Now, the job I spent the last 3, maybe 4 years in the restaurant business working at, they would have the dishwashers, your chef would give you shit for even leaving that much. Yeah, well, I'm not a professional cook anymore, so professional chefs can suck it. Anyway, the chef would have the dishwashers peel onions for the cooks in the morning. And they would cut the root off. So when you had to, cut onions for a recipe, it was twice as hard as it needed to be, because the root wasn't there to hold it together. Took you way too long to learn to leave the root on? Yeah, me too. I actually learned that from a Gordon Ramsay video, believe it or not. One of his YouTube videos. So anyway, we're going to knock our camera over. And we're going to scoop the onions into a container and save them for later. This is the peril of working with an over-the-sink cutting board. Sometimes they don't stay in place as well as they should. Makes it easier to cut technique-wise and keeps the juice away from your eye holes. Yup. The other thing that really helps way more than most people would expect is having a really sharp knife. Really, really helps. Yeah. Camera just went all blurry. What'd I do? That's weird. Can't push cut an onion, it's dangerous and annoying. Yup. Okay. Anyway. Back to our prep. Now, where did I set the rest of the garlic? Over here? We're going to want to mince some garlic next. To do that, I just... That didn't work as well as I thought it would. Nailed it. Yeah, normally you can just smash this against the cutting board and break it apart, but this is going to be stubborn for whatever reason. I suspect that this garlic is not as fresh. Oh. No, this garlic's green. Hopefully my other head of garlic, not green. I'm actually going to mince it, Strophium. Because you're right, pasting is a pain on a plastic cutting board. I didn't get a chance to test the sound levels before I got started on this. How does everything sound, guys? Good, good. This is my least favorite part about cutting garlic and onions. That the skin gets everywhere. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to take the flat of the knife, knock our webcam over again. Alright. Stay. Stay. Anyway, we're going to smash our cloves of garlic. There we go. One last clove. Alright, now you see, you do this, the skin comes off real easy. Oh shit, good eye, Strophium. There's actually these two over here that I... Did I miss these? No, these are already smashed. Okay. There. Ree! We're going to have to be a little bit careful with this garlic, because some of it is a little bit green, so we're going to have to make sure we cut the green bits out. They are not tasty. This is still kind of a pain, but it's way easier than peeling it from scratch. Trying to make sure I've got all the skin out of the way. And then I'm going to wash my hands, because garlic makes your hands very sticky. Alright. So now we want to cut out any green bits we find. We also want to cut off this little root at the end of the garlic, because that gets kind of bitter when cooked. Go. All the junk can go in the trash. Be gone with ya! Alright. Now we just want to mince the garlic nice and fine. This looks sloppy, but it'll get the job done. Oops, missed a little root there. What's my cooking MMR? Probably about the same as my StarCraft MMR. 4.5 to 5K. You just want to rock your knife through the garlic. While reminding yourself, damn, I used to be way better at this when I did it professionally. We've almost got it to the desired size and consistency. What's up, Lagerman? Good to see you tonight, my friend. How are you doing? I'm going to call that good enough. Oh God, what would Gordon Ramsay say? Yeah, that's a fair criticism, Jim. This soup is fucking dry! Alright. No, this is Italian bread, not a baguette. You want to take about half a loaf. We're going to use this to make the filler for our meatballs. So we want to cut the crust off. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Ligerman. Fact. It's pretty good. Now we've got all the crust off. They really do that on Hell's Kitchen, Strophium? I guess that doesn't really surprise me. Anyway, we're going to cut this bread into chunks now. This doesn't have to be, like, precisely, but because we're just using it as a filler for our meatballs. And we want to get our mixing bowls. In the small mixing bowl, we're going to have our bread. And we're going to add our buttermilk to soak. This bread's a little drier than the last time I made it, so we're actually going to use the whole pint of buttermilk. Yeah, this bread is a couple days old, so... The last time I did this, when I was kind of experimenting, like kind of developing the recipe, I used fresh bread and it didn't absorb the buttermilk at all, and I had a hell of a time getting the meatballs to form because they were too wet. So, let's talk about assembling our meatballs. For seasonings, we want dried oregano, crushed red pepper, and dried basil. Also want our wedge of Parmesan cheese, which I'm going to open now. Ew. Marinating something in fish sauce before sauteing it? Ugh. Was your roommate J. Kenji Lopez Alt from Serious Eats? That dude loves him some fish sauce. Can't caramelize with it? That makes sense. Holy crap, the bowl fills up the screen. Our mixing bowl shall blot out the sun. So let's get our meat in the bowl. Oh, our kitchen is back. What, puppy? Think you're getting some veal? Alright. So while we're mixing our meatballs, we want to start heating up our pan. So, oh, that's not. shoot. That's the wrong. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to use our other. Anyway. Our pan on some just medium heat now because we're not in any hurry to get it hot. I'm going to get about ½ an inch of oil in. Not even that much. We're going to be frying our meatballs in there. Oh wait, my stove cam started working. Excellent. There we go. Let's switch back over to here. Anyway. Get our cheese grater. We want to grate about 3 ounces of fresh parm. Oh yeah. That'll be good. Ah, nice pun, Liger. 8 out of 8. We want about half of our garlic in the mixture. Then we want to add our buttermilk bread mixture. Excellent. A little bit. About 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. One to 2 tablespoons of dried basil. Salt and pepper. And we just want to take our hands, get in there, and start mixing. Oh yeah, listen to that noise. I'll bet that sounds great. And you want to just mix this until it's incorporated. Like everything's gotten to know each other. You don't want to overmix it. And you'll end up with a nice mixture like this. Did I not have work today? No. Now, what I like to do... First of all, let me wash my hands before I start touching my stove. Looks like gloop. I hope that's a good thing. It smells fantastic. Now, I like to throw a meatball in the taste test before I form all of them. Hey, Stormcat. Because this is your... Yeah, like a baby ball. Babby ball. This is your last chance to taste test before you cook. Because once you've got all of the meatballs like formed, you're not really adjusting the seasoning all that much. I know, you don't eat meat. You know what? I have a thermometer. How? Just replace with the beef with tofu. Ugh. Do you not eat meat for moral reasons or just for uh like health reasons? Or I don't think we ever talked about this. He's just picky. That wouldn't surprise me. Just a taste stain, although it's easy enough to take the moral position when you don't have to give up anything. That's fair. Lobsters don't age. That's true, but they do eventually like have trouble shedding their shell if they live long enough. That being said, you always knife through the central nervous. Yeah. The last chef I worked for made us cut the claws off the lobster while it was still alive, and I always objected to that because it just made me squeamish. And I don't think there's any reason to do. That's dumb. There's no reason. He wasn't very smart. He had a lot of things that he thought made food better that really don't fucking matter. Like, he would just obsess over pointless shit. Anyway, our oil should be hot enough now, so we're gonna throw a meatball in just to test it. You think it's fine to raise animals for their meat, but I think well in their life? I agree. I flipped it a little too soon. Yeah, I made it a little bigger than I meant to. Smells awesome, though. Whoops. Yeah, this is one thing. If you're frying meatballs, like if you make French fries or whatever, you can usually use the same oil a few times. But if you're doing beef, once you're done, that oil's ruined. You have to get rid of it. It was actually one of the things that drove me nuts about my old job. My last job as a cook is Chef would do his meatballs in the deep fryer, right? Rinse you out and throw you in the dishwasher. And of course, because he didn't want any off flavors from fish or anything else getting in his meatballs, he would do it in the fryer that I just finished cleaning and putting fresh oil in. And it would be ruined, and I'd have to do it all over again. So let's give our meatball a taste. See what it tastes like. Oh, it's still a little rare on the end. Yep, I expected it as well, Strophy, and that's why I checked first. Now it ought to be fine. Woo! Hot! Needs more salt. Other than that, I think we're good to go, guys. What kind of salt is that? Kosher salt. It is a lot, but it takes a lot to make these for a recipe this size. This is 3 pounds of meat. Anyway, this is about the size I go for with my meatballs. You can go bigger or smaller if you want. Yeah, pan right here. Yeah, this is the whole reason I do cooking streams, or the whole reason I wanted to do this was so I could get away with playing with my meat on stream without violating terms of service. Again, don't overroll your balls, just excuse me, just roll them until they're the right shape. What size do I go for? These are about 2 inches, inch and a half, 2 inches, give or take. Ligerman. That's true, Strophium. Smaller the ball, the more browning. More surface to mass ratio. Or surface to volume, rather. Rather bigger meatballs than small ones. Yeah, and that's a great thing about a recipe like this is you kind of can do what you want with it. If you want big meatballs, you can have big meatballs. If you want small meatballs, you can have small meatballs. There's no wrong way to roll your balls. Do I put any Worcestershire in my balls? No, not for Italian meatballs anyway. The universal beef enhancer. Worcestershire sauce is good. I just don't like it for this particular application. Oh yeah, MSG was the boogeyman for a while. I remember that. I'm not sure what vector classifies as. I don't get that deep down the rabbit hole of classifying music, to be honest. Alright, 2 more balls. They're done. Into the oil they go. No binder either. That's what the bread and the buttermilk was for. Oh, no egg? I found that this recipe doesn't really need it. We haven't had too much splatter, but that's still good advice, Stropium. Also, these are delicious. How many people am I feeding tonight? Just 2. Oop! Ow! Damn, that hurt. Exactly, Strophium. I'm going to be cooking these in the sauce anyway, so who gives a damn? Sniper brought up a good point. This is a lot of meat for 2 people, but we're not eating this all tonight. Some of these are going in a Ziploc bag, and they're going into the freezer. Oh yeah. Getting some nice color on these bad boys. While this is going on, let's have a look at our roasted garlic, see how that's doing. Not quite there yet, but getting there. That's beautiful. When is the 50-cent tour of the house stream? Not today. My house is a cluttered mess. We're going through stuff and deciding what to keep and get rid of. Trying to simplify our lives a little bit. What's up, Authority? How you doing tonight, man? Doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for asking. We want to drain off most of this fat. Let it cool till we can dispose of it. And then we add our onion. And a little bit of salt and pepper. You want to scrape up that beautiful fond off the bottom of the pan. The little cooked on bits of beef and what have you. Oh yeah. You don't really want the onions to caramelize too much. But they are picking up color from the bits of meat. Add our garlic. We would just want that to start to become fragrant. Now we grab our can opener. We're going to dump in our tomatoes. Starion, thanks for the resub. I made a little bit of a mistake here. What I normally do add the tomato paste first and let it cook with the onions and stuff before adding the pureed tomatoes. I could still work with it. A little scraper. All a nice. Ramsay wouldn't use canned tomatoes? I don't know about that. Most professional kitchens do use canned tomatoes, although a lot of chefs would look down on me for not using San Marzano tomatoes. And San Marzano tomatoes are great, but none of the grocery stores around where I live carry them, so I don't have them. So there's our sauce. Now we need to season it with 1 to 2 tablespoons of oregano. Where'd my basil go? Am I losing my mind, guys? Did I have a stroke? There it is. Basil. Just a little bit of crushed red pepper. A little bit of that goes a long way. Salt and pepper. If you put weed in this sauce, would you notice? I don't know. I've never cooked with cannabis. No bay? You mean bay leaves? Do I have bay leaves? I usually don't put bay leaves in tomato sauce, but... Oh, I've got tomato paste. Mary Jane is illegal in Ohio? Yes, it is. Unfortunately. I think they legalized some medical stuff, but... We just want this to come up to a nice simmer before we add the balls back. Oh. What prompted me to do a day in cooking stream? I've been planning on doing this for a couple days, but I had to work out some technical issues. I don't know, it just felt like something fun to do. Oh, we're starting to get a simmer. And we can start adding the meatballs in. Actually concerned these won't all fit. I wear shoes in my house? Yeah, sometimes. Truth is, I just got in from taking the dog out when I started, and I never bothered to take them off. Depends on how much there is, Strophium. If there's just a little bit of fat, I'll mix it back in. If there's a lot, I'll skip. It's gonna cook down. I did kind of underestimate how full this fill the pan. Yeah, I know, Ligerman. That's why I moved the wire out of the way. Anyway, I'm going to AFK for like 5 minutes while this is cooking down. Um, this doesn't actually have to simmer for hours. The longer you can let it, the longer you let it simmer, the better. But 30 minutes to an hour is usually good. And then longer if you have the time, but we don't have the time. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. Might as well load the dishwasher while we're waiting for stuff to cook, right? Alright, I'm gonna feed the dog. Pay no attention to the messy corner of the kitchen. Alright, Clemmy, is it puppy food time? Are you hungry? Sit. Sit. Good girl. People you live with left on a cruise for a week. The correct thing to do is to take your PC and hook it up to the 50-inch TV, right? Absolutely. It would be rude not to. They spent a lot of money on that TV, and it would be a waste for it to just sit unused for a whole week. God, I had a Sharpie. It is a handy cutting board. I don't have much counter space in this kitchen, so being able to put a cutting board over the sink and use that space for prep is really, really handy. Meatballs. Can I grate that parm into your mouth? I think it would take a lot of effort to grate parm such that it travels all the way to Massachusetts. And I would be in the world record books if I could do that. Anyway, I'm going to throw this stuff in the freezer. I'll be right back. Alright, so let's get some water on. Yes, I used some parm in the balls. Just filling up a pot with some water. Are you done already? Was that tasty? You get this water on and start heating it up. Yeah, putting oil in your pasta water is just a waste. It just floats on top of the water and doesn't do anything. And also, like Strophium says, it'll keep your sauce from sticking to the... I don't salt the water until it's already come to a boil, because salt lowers the boiling point of water. And then your pasta takes longer to cook. So let's wipe our cutting board off. And let's get our bread ready for garlic bread. Where'd my knife go? There we go. The hell's that? Oh, it's my thermometer. What noodle do I generally use? For this, I will show you. For this, I have some fresh linguine made by a local company. Bucatini is also a great choice. But yeah, if you live in the Cleveland, like greater Cleveland area, like I do, you might be able to get this stuff, and it is really good. Ohio City pasta is good. No, I'm not a fan of angel hair pasta either. Ever heard of a bread knife? Heard of one, don't have one. Now we've got about a stick and a half of butter here that we are going to melt. Guess you're buying Kestut's a bread knife for Christmas? Yes, buy me stuff. Buy me all the things. You know what's weird? Your face? Oh. You actually think garlic powder makes better garlic? I don't know about that, Strophium. I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you there. Okay. You can steep it and get more flavor, garlic flavor in the butter. I guess. I don't know. I really like this recipe. Speaking of which, let's have a look at the roasted garlic. There's my oven mitt. You like my oven mitt, by the way, guys? It's pretty. Oh, I think we're ready, guys. I think we're ready. Getting out yet another mixing bowl. The Ramsey Dream Kitchen so we can have more of this. Oh yeah, dude. I would love to have a nicer kitchen. That is my biggest complaint about this house is the state of the kitchen. Oh man. Ow. Damn, this stuff is not squeezing out as nicely as it normally does. That's better. There we go. That didn't yield nearly as much garlic as I hoped it would, though. Oh well. Butter's not quite melted yet. Not a fan of garlic? Oh man, how can you not like garlic? Oh, sorry, puppy. I didn't see you behind me. What? So spoiled, you know that? Roasted garlic paste is good. Goat cheese? I've never tried that. It looks like I will have to add a little garlic. Find it. Pinch of salt and pepper. And then again, we want to grate about 3 ounces of Parmesan cheese in there. I'll do it. And we just want to mash everything together till it's nice and incorporated. Let's add a little more cheese. There we go. Unlike StarCraft, when it comes to cooking, you can never have too much cheese. Now, do I still have my... Oh, well. I use instead? I guess a spoon. Grinds it down to the rind and it just says Protoss. Yup. You just want to slather this butter and garlic and cheese mixture onto your bread. Sorry, I thought I was showing the slather. Can you see this? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright. Just slather that on there. Do it all slow and sexy like. Yeah, does that look good? Or does that look good? Oh, I got the corners, Digitals. I got them. Just imagine you're spreading some butter on a big piece of bread. Spread that butter with the force. Mmm. And now we grate 3 ounces of Parmesan. Get fucked, Parmesan block. All right. You guys are hilarious and I love you all. I just want you to know that. We still have our oven at 375 degrees. We're gonna just toss our bread in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. Had to get another tray. Ugh. Strophium, if you want to drive all the way to Ohio, you can lick the spoon. Means that much to you. We're going to set our timer for 8 minutes. And we're going to crank up the heat on our water so it comes to a boil. This cooking is inspiring all, but I still think I'm going to hit up Pete's on the way home from work. Dude, I feel ya. I ordered Chinese food last night. It happens. Ohio is across Lake Erie from you. We'll build a wall and Canada's going to pay for it. You're going to convince yourself to ladder tonight? Go for it, Digitals. Give our sauce a little taste. I think. A little more pepper. Or oregano and a little more. . Passion diet here should be your slogan. So Strophium was absolutely right. The pan did overflow a little bit with the sauce. That's best. That's not. Oh. You can tell I've spent entirely too much time. Yeah, you and me both, Strophium. You know, I actually usually cook my oven, or cook my bacon in the oven. Cook my oven in my bacon. But bacon is delicious, no matter how you cook it. Bacon sizzling in the pan, that's some ASMR shit right there. Seriously though, if you cook your bacon in the oven, it's really easy to save the grease, save the bacon fat afterwards, and it's so much easier to clean up. How do I recommend my oven? Preferably gas. I'm cooking with electric right now, and it's not the best. You like bacon fat way more than the bacon itself, to be honest. My last job, we actually, for a while, had a salad on special, where we made the balsamic vinaigrette with bacon fat. It was pretty tasty. Yeah, I could make fries on stream sometime. Maybe that'll be like for the bar food episode I'm planning. Everyone ship your bacon fat to stream. Hey, I want some too. I will slather that shit all over my naked body. Bacon is bar food. Cold salad topped with foie gras and blackberry duck fat vinaigrette. Wow, that sounds really rich. Strophium is in Massachusetts and I'm in the greater Cleveland area. You feel like you're about in the middle? Could be. I don't know where you're at. That's possible. Have a look at our garlic bread. Not quite there yet. I'm going to say another 5 minutes. Your professor from grad school gave you networking advice? So valuable. Nice. Wow, that's really awesome, Stroke. Good for you, man. Yeah, I'll probably ladder for a little bit. I'm going after as soon as dinner's ready. I'm going to go off, and my girlfriend and I are going to spend some time together. But after she goes to bed, maybe I'll ladder for a bit. So many notifications. Are we gonna watch the eating too? No, unfortunately. Um, I'm going to plate it up, and then we're going to go smash it off stream. Shouldn't be too much longer though. You've been having trouble sleeping, Digitals? I'm sorry to hear that. Gotta do one bite at least? Okay, that's fair. Surprised the dog's not. Give this another. Are we going to have some Lady and the Tramp scene? No, thanks. Ooh, that's my. Almost there on the bread, too. This is the part that's kind of annoying about doing a cooking stream. What's all that stuff you see behind me? That's just kind of like the front entryway of the house. We have our dining room table over there. It's currently piled up with mail and stuff. Um, got a couple shelves for our pots and pans and other kitchen supplies. And the bin that we keep the dog food in, all that fun stuff. Oh, oh, water's boiling. looks kind of like a mess. Yeah, a little bit. We've got more stuff than we have space. So, things are a bit cluttered right now. No bully. That's right. What's our garlic bread look like? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Will you just look at it? Nice and brown and garlicky. Oh, yeah. Let's get the other can of garlic bread out before we. Go. It's okay, Hansi. So good. Alright, let's get the pasta done. This is fresh pasta, so it does not take long to cook at all. Switch back. I guess you can't. Look at my sauce. I had a pair of tongs. What did I do with them? There they are. Pasta. This should only take about 2 minutes. Yeah, I know, the sauce kind of got everywhere. It's okay, though. That's what they make washcloths for, am I right? This out of the way. Trash with ya. I don't recycle? I do. I have a recycling bin and a trash bin over here. Where's the Crisco bottle? It's actually right over here. See? Alright, we got about a minute on the pasta. We're going to drain the pasta. Back into the pot with it. Going to add some sauce to the noodles. Over that the sauce really adheres to the pasta. Perfect. Off the heat it comes. Ooh, yeah. That would suck to get banned over a joke about doing lines of coke. Alright, so let's plate. Want to get a little bit of pasta here. A couple of meatballs. Knew I shouldn't have put the cutting board away. Last but not least, we're going to grate about 3 ounces of Parmesan onto this. Let's take a bite. Oh my god, that's so good. The meatballs have a nice crust on them, but they're moist on the inside and tender. Great flavor. The pasta is perfect. The sauce, nice and rich. Good tomato flavor, good beef flavor. Pasta, the sauce, the meatball, the cheese, all comes together beautifully. And the garlic bread just makes everything perfect. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I will probably be back later tonight for some StarCraft. But, you know, be sure to let me know what you thought of the show on Discord. If you're not on the Discord, join it. Please. And I will be, I'm planning on doing more of these streams, so let me know what you want to see, guys. But I will be back later tonight, and I hope to see you all then. Take it easy. Stay metal.